And we've got a treat for you guys coming into the booth now for our next women's kickboxing fight. We have Glory kickboxer the Killer Bee, Taylor Jenkins, coming in for a guest commentary slot. Hi, Taylor. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm great. It's nice to meet you. I'm Dylan.
I know. So nice to meet you. I'm excited to be here.
Cool. So, do you have any experience commentating fights before?
No, I don't.
Okay, cool. Do you do it at home when you watch fights? Do you yell at the TV?
It's more of a screaming match.
There you go.
More of a screaming match. I don't commentate. I'm yelling.
Well, if you do that, I'm sure it'll be just as entertaining.
Yeah,
so
I might.
That's what Trevor does 50% of the time, and it seems to work for him.
I know. I was really thinking about like how I was gonna fight that, like seeing somebody take a good shot and like resisting the urge to shout.
So are you in camp? Do you have another fight planned?
No, but Glory has a fight in the Netherlands in December, so.
And you would like to do that?
I would like to do that.
All right, here we go. To run along to your next kickboxing match of the night. This fighter comes to you out of the red corner, standing 5 foot 3 inches tall, with an undefeated record in the kickboxing ring of 2-0. Fighting out of Pure One MMA, please welcome Toni Wilson.
Toni Wilson, a highly touted prospect for the North Carolina kickboxing scene right now, 2-0 with 2 stoppages.
Ooh, okay.
Fighting out of Pure One MMA under Jeff Purefoy.
Yeah, both of these girls have a lot of heart. I've seen Toni Wilson before, and she's very ferocious. She has a fierce attitude about her, very inspiring and uplifting kind of person, very positive. So I know she's going to come in here and give it her all.
And this is 125. Do you compete at 125?
I'm a little smaller. I try to fight at 115.
115, yeah.
But all of my fights have been at 120 because it's really hard to find.
That's why.
Yeah, but I would like to fight at 115.
Is it, well, you know, now the 115 division is becoming so popular in MMA. Is that not necessarily the case with kickboxing for women?
No. I feel like everyone's going to MMA. And
right.
That's kind of why I took the route of kickboxing, because I knew so many people are trying to get into MMA that I wanted to make a name for myself doing something else. But
and her opponent fighting out of the blue corner, standing 5 foot 6 inches tall, yeah, looking to get her first win in the ring tonight. Fighting out of TKO Gym, please all welcome Terri Redmond.
Of course, both of these ladies still amateur. Maybe by the time they go pro, they'll enter into that weight class similar to you. We often see people cut more as they go pro.
Yeah, it's a smart choice. You know, when people are cutting down from heavier, it's a lot hard. It's heavier hits. So you're going to get hit a lot harder. Terri Redmond, I have seen her. She's got a Muay Thai style.
Oh, yeah, as is her garb indicates that as well.
Yeah, exactly.
And her walkout, I'm sure she will do the traditional walk around the ring.
Both of these females are so ferocious and both have no-quit attitudes. I've seen that in them before, so this should be a very, very exciting fight.
I don't think I've seen Terri Redmond fight before, but she does appear to be a lot longer.
Yeah.
Her legs especially. So if she's, you know, the type of fighter who likes to utilize, you know, teeps and front kicks, she could do a good job of keeping Toni out.
Yeah, if she finds her range and establishes it and sets the fight at her pace, I think she has that with her reach.
Of course, she's looking to get her first win in the kickboxing ring tonight, and Toni looking to make it 3 straight wins.
Yeah, when you've lost, you definitely have that hunger.
We saw that from those last 2 guys. Both of them were 0-1 or 0-2 guys.
Mm-hmm.
So they were looking for that first win still.
Yeah.
And it definitely showed in their performance.
Oh, yeah, they went really hard. So this should be super exciting.
Toni's raring to go. She's already at the center of the ring, and so is Toni.
Intensity.
So is the referee, Donnie Jessup. He's ready to go as well.
That feeling of just pure intensity waiting for the bell to ring.
What is this moment like for you? This moment right here where it's all done but the bell ringing.
It feels like you're in a video game and you're like, where am I?
And the loading screen is still happening.
They are going right for it.
And I always,
body shots.
I was saying during the women's boxing match that it's always the ladies that come the hardest on these Fight For It shows.
Yeah, I feel like as women we have something to prove. I don't know why. That's just like a thing that I feel like
Inherently.
is in our nature of being a woman, that you just go out there and
certainly in the
guns
fight
blazing.
game as well.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
You know?
Knocked her headgear off.
How happy were you when you turned pro and didn't have to wear the headgear anymore?
Actually, I didn't mind the headgear because when you get a shot, like it hurts a lot.
It helps
worse,
a little bit, right?
But it is nice to not have it or worry about something like this with your headgear falling off. But yeah, you definitely don't feel the pain as much.
A lot of the guys I train with anyway just complain about the vision, the vision blocking aspect of the headgear.
Yeah, because if you get a good knock to the head, you can't see. It's absolutely the worst. So making sure she's got that on nice and tight and right, because if it slips, that's the worst. It's the worst feeling.
All right, here we go again. Toni Wilson laying it on thick
again.
Man.
Yeah, she is. No stop. I knew it. I knew they would have no stop. The intensity is insane.
Huge shot bearing down, and she is not. Terri has not let go of the. Since then.
Yes, it seems like Toni is using her boxing, her hands, her striking, and
finishing with kicks as well.
Yeah, and Terry's trying to just get in there and get her knees and kicks where you can. You can tell that that's super Muay Thai. A Muay Thai fighter typically would not want to be getting punched like that.
And that's something that people have always said is like, you know, kind of like a basic 15-second advice on how to face down a Thai fighter is you can rush them down,
exactly,
sort of.
Exactly.
And that's what we're seeing Toni do, and she's certainly been a rushdown artist in her last two fights, but this is a new level of volume for her, and finishing with the kicks and the combos is a nice improvement from her as well.
Terri is taking it like a champ, and I just think that she needs to utilize her hands more. Those knees are really good. Those are awesome. Yeah, she needs to strike, let her hands go. You can tell this is where the tradition of Muay Thai comes into. Yep.
She sank another knee deep in there.
And Toni just wants to get her hands, let them go.
She wants to get out bad.
Yeah. Now with a Muay Thai fighter, you typically want to stay. You want to move. If you're a striker, you want to move, constantly moving, cutting angles, and stepping to the outside.
Toni going back to the body now, and she's had some success there. But every time she starts to go to the body, she's catching or getting clinched.
I think what Toni needs to do is follow up her hands with kicks. It seems like she's throwing one or the other. Terri needs to let her hands go, but this is a phenomenal fight. They both have so much heart and are putting it all out there in the first round. And that is the kind of fighting I like to see.
I think everyone feels the same, especially in kickboxing, a sport that people follow for exactly that kind of action.
Yeah.
And a no lulls attitude that most of the fighters have, and these ladies are no exception to the rule.
All right, don't forget, we got our sponsors back here in the corner. You can check out these sponsors on Instagram, Facebook.
Like I said, Terri's got heart. She is in there. She's taking those heavy shots, and she is just firing back and coming back with whatever she can get in there. So it's crazy. These women have a lot of heart.
And yeah, the toughness to hold on to that plum clinch when she was taking those big shots, it shows a lot.
828-313-1323 or Dylan Kreitz.
Now, in your time as a female kickboxer, what would you say the most common style to fight against is? Is it that Muay Thai fighter?
Yeah, I've experienced a lot of Muay Thai fighters, like, and I've seen it. I see them all the time. More Muay Thai and Glory. Very heavy, Muay Thai heavy. So it's cool when you see different styles too, other than Muay Thai. Like when you see the different kinds of kickboxing that
what do we got over there? Anything else? We got posters. Come on down.
All right, round two between Toni Wilson and Terri Redmond off at Fight For It 7, and it looks like a repeat of the first round so far. Oh, cracking leg kick there from Toni.
Now she's throwing kicks. Yeah, that's what Toni needed to do, is go in there and start using her legs and her hands and put them together. If only she would move a little bit more. That's like the only thing that I could say. But right now, you can tell that her coach has told her to follow up her hands with kicks and kicks with hands.
She's keeping her hands kind of low, kind of to the chest level, so maybe she can push out of the clinch if it comes. Nice response there from Terri going over in some of the dirty boxing.
Yeah, Terri's got that Muay Thai counter strike style. She's kind of waiting to see what Toni does so that she can pick her shots wisely.
She seems more comfortable in the clinch too.
Yeah.
So Toni would do best to just avoid that if
and
she
move.
can.
Yeah, she needs to move and not get close to her, because you can tell Terri's wanting to get those knees. Her kicks are looking a little slower, but You can tell she's trying to pick her shots wisely.
Yeah, as the round has kind of gone on, she's slowed down a little bit here. Oh, nice question mark kick.
That was a very nice question mark kick.
Oh, she lands a big right hand there on Wilson.
And now she's starting to open up and do what she needs to do. That would be my advice to her in her corner, would be to let her hands go more and fire those knees, and they're landing.
Just keep on this plum clinch, because so far it's been a major weapon for her biggest weapon of the fight.
It's going to be exciting to see where it goes, if it goes to decision, because one's throwing their hands ferociously and the other one's firing knees.
And it comes down to what the judges really value more, you know. Like you watch a fight where there's a lot of leg kicks, you're like, how does that judge value leg kicks, you know? Oh, front headlock position there. Redmond throwing one last knee on the exit.
Got to get it while you can.
She's definitely battled her way back into this fight.
Oh, yeah, she definitely did. I think
a much better showing from her in the second round.
Yeah, she is showing that she is in it to win. She wants to win.
Toni Wilson may have finally come up against an opponent that she cannot stop.
Yeah, you can tell that Toni's using her hands. Her hands and her striking are great, and then Terri is looking to use her knees and her kicks more. So it's interesting because this is one of the fights where who sets the tone really determines how the fight goes, and who sets the pace and the distance and can control it the entire time.
I would definitely say that so far it's been Toni kind of applying the pressure and the pace on Redmond, but then Terri's been using that clinch to kind of slow it back down, neutralize it, but also land the damage that she has landed.
Yeah, the only thing I would say for Terri is that taking that time to pick your shots really does hurt you. Like, you know, you kind of got to, yeah, you really need to throw as much as you can, as hard as you can. Taking that time when you know in a fight like this where Toni is obviously showing more aggression, the pressure, that's when you need to let your hands go and kicks go, because picking your shots isn't going to help you.
Especially if you're potentially down 2 rounds in the final and already looking for that high knee.
And that was a stiff jab.
Yeah, absolutely. Back in the clinch here. That's a good sign for Redmond if she wants to win this round.
Yeah.
But she'll need more than the round.
Pick up the pace, yeah. See, Toni is pouring it on her, and this is when the judges say, okay, who is the aggressor, who's throwing more, coming forward.
We're seeing Redmond with a little bit more aggression here. She landed 2 straight crosses.
Yeah.
Nice check.
Oh, nice jab. The jab's landing every time, it looks like.
Yeah, that high traditional Muay Thai style shell, that is probably the biggest weakness, is that the jab can split it.
Just like like I said, with a Muay Thai fighter, it's all about finding your distance, who's controlling the movement, cutting angles, moving. Oh, those knees, man, those knees.
She is doing some significant damage, and it looks like Wilson is actually hurt here.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Her coach very pleased with that, and I can't agree more. That's been her biggest weapon.
Yeah, that's her biggest weapon. I would definitely have her utilize that.
And that's also been slowing Wilson down. You know, we've been seeing her get progressively slower and more tired as it's gone on. Taking shots to the body weighs on that.
Yeah. Oh, body shots. They will end you quick. They're both playing to their strengths. Which is smart.
They've finally gotten to the point now in round 3 where they're both implementing their games very well.
I think they both know what it's going to take to win, and they're both definitely putting it all out there.
We heard that clacker, and Redmond got aggressive really quickly.
When you hear the 10 seconds, that is go time. That is go time.
Especially in the last round this, right?
Yeah, they're going. That was an amazing fight. That was an awesome show put on by both women. You could see their heart.
Absolutely.
They both gave it everything that they had.
Toni Wilson going the distance for the first time in her kickboxing career. Terri Redmond doing an absolute fantastic job with those knees.
And the energy, and she's still happy, ready to go. That's awesome.
She could probably go another 2 rounds right now. And it really just comes down to how these judges feel about the clinch. How do they feel about those knees, like we were saying? I don't think Terri Redmond loses any stock, win or lose in this decision. That was an amazing fight for 2 amateur ladies with this being both of their third fights.
Yeah, and then for Toni to go the distance in her first fight where she went all of the rounds, you know, that's intense. Look at her positive attitude is awesome. Yeah, that is awesome.
Redmond getting the support, brought a lot of people out with her. No feeling like fighting in front of your family and friends.
And putting on a show like that, when you fight really hard and you know you did everything you could and you put on a show, that is the best.
All right, we have a decision with your winner coming out of the red corner, Toni Wilson.
Those first 2 rounds were going to be very hard to surmount in the third.
I think Terri just didn't let herself go early enough in the fight and the striking, the aggression. That was an amazing fight.
Nice round of applause for Terri Redmond. True fighter out there also. Thank you, Ms. Redmond.
Absolute warrior, Terri Redmond. Toni Wilson stays undefeated. Taylor, it was wonderful to have you join us here in the booth. I look forward to seeing you again for the MMA fights.
I know, I'll be back in a little bit.
You're a natural, it turns out.
So
there you go.
Thank you. I'm super nervous.
All right, see you soon.
I want a victorious Toni Wilson. Congratulations to you. You came in at 2-0. You leave out of here undefeated at 3-0. My observation is you had complete control of this fight. You didn't look like you took any damage. Is that your sort of assessment of this fight?
Yes, absolutely. I came out feeling a little drained just from the heat, but I just had to hold it together for 3 rounds and just stick with it. She threw some great knees, but I just hung in there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I had your fan base right behind me there. I heard them calling out Pookie the whole time.
Yes.
How great is it to have a fan base behind you these fights?
The support is definitely needed. I don't think I could do that without my family being here. They've shown up to all 3 of my fights, and it means everything to me, honestly.
Who do you want to thank?
God, first and foremost, for allowing me to hang in there. I took some hard knees. My family, my coach, Coach Jeff, all of Pure One, my training partners, everyone. I love everyone.
We appreciate a great fight out there tonight. Thank you.